whenever you're ready. Going?
Okay. Problem number 5, which is an empirical formula problem. We're supposed to write the empirical formula and the empirical formula mass for each of the following compounds. And I have compound A through D where we're going to do this. And what is, in fact, the empirical formula? It's the simplest formula for a particular compound, the one where it's the irreducible formula for a given compound. And the empirical formula mass is going to be the mass of that compound with that formula. So in other words, the empirical formula is the one with the smallest whole number ratio of atoms in a compound. So what we're going to look for in each of these cases is the lowest common denominator for all of the subscript suffixes in the formula. So the first formula is C6H6. So the obvious lowest common denominator there is we divide by 6. And that's going to give us CH. And the empirical formula mass you can calculate using the values in the periodic table that was provided. And these are actually rounded values. And so we'll use the value of 12.01 for carbon and 1 for hydrogen, roughly. And so this is going to be over on scratch paper, 12 times 1 plus 1 times 1, that's going to be 13. So it's going to be close. We round it off in the carbon. There's going to be an empirical formula mass, so E F M is going to be equal to 13 grams per mole. Okay? So we round it off a little bit here. We're not as concerned with the points to the right of the decimal. Now, same thing here. I have in part B, the formula is C2H6O2. So we're looking for the lowest common denominator, the lowest common divisor of all 3 of these numbers. And obviously, 2 is it. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 2 divided by 2 is again 1. So this is going to be CH3O. And again, the empirical formula mass is going to have 12 times 1 plus 3 times 1, which is 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So 15 and 16, so empirical formula mass is going to be equal to 15 plus 16 is 31 grams. And the next one has a formula N3B3H12. Well, the obvious lowest common multiple is going to be 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that gives us the following formula. NB4. Now we just have to find what is the empirical formula mass. Nitrogen is 14 grams per mole. Boron is 10 grams per mole. And hydrogen, 1 gram per mole. So I have 14 plus 10 is 24. 24 and 4 is 28. And the last in our little series is B2Cl4. The obvious divisor here is 2. So that's going to be 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. And now for the empirical formula mass. 10 plus, now chlorine is an atomic mass of 35 point something. So 35 times 2 is 70, plus 10 is 80. So empirical formula mass is 80 grams per mole. It is that simple. All you have to make sure of when you read this question, and the problem that I've seen in the past, is a lot of folks miss the empirical formula mass. So what you need to see on the answer is you have to have the empirical formula and the empirical formula mass. Don't forget to do this part because it's really pretty easy. And so that's